Come on in. Let's move over to the table, maybe over here. Would that be okay?
Holy cow, it's giant.
Yeah.
Right.
The kids out there, my dog died.
Uh-oh. Do you have anybody ask you on the way in?
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Yeah. Want to set it up here, maybe?
Holy
Yeah.
moly.
Well,
Wow.
that's just a bone, right?
That is a bone.
I mean, they were telling me that it was fossilized.
Well, it might be mineralized, so let's take a look at it and see. I'm Jim, by the way. I guess the introduction should go first. Is it cold outside?
No, not really.
Tom Plager, I talked to you on the phone. Thanks so much for bringing this in.
Yeah.
And Jim's the guy you want to show this to.
Well, you know, I'm not a paleontologist. I'm an archaeologist. I work with bones all the time, but I don't work with very many this big. Occasionally.
My bet is that it's just an elephant bone. I mean, I live 50 miles from the circus town.
Well, I was just say we talked with the Circus World Museum folks, and they told us that there are buried elephants in the Baraboo area, but they tended to be places where the animal died, and they'd bury them close by. There was one, I guess, that died as a result of injury from a train. The likelihood you'd have an elephant out in the marsh
Well,
out
that's
in
my point.
Oxford
It was near the tracks. It's near a highway, you know. And it doesn't look like it's fossilized to me. It just looks like a bone. But I don't know.
I'm not so sure. It seems to have a sort of a mineralized character up here.
Well, it was in water, so the water might have done that too, huh?
And it's the front arm bone, the humerus.
Yeah, I knew it was.
And this depression under here is the electronon fossa. This is the lateral edge. So what you have is a left front leg here.
And that is a growth plate there?
And this is a growth plate. This growth plate is missing. Subadult animal.
Okay, this part was underwater. That's why this part's a little darker. This was the part that stuck out in the mud.
This is it may not be a mastodon. It looks like a mammoth to me. We'll pull out the Tom. Maybe you can get that book out of there, Olson's book, and pull those out.
Looks like something's gnawed on that one end a little bit, hasn't it?
Because on mammoths, this is. Can you help me turn this over? I don't want to damage it or anything. Let's roll it all the way over. Because here's a deltoid tuberosity, muscle attachment. This is not mammoth, or not mastodon. Classic characteristic is this is a humerus of American mastodon, and this is a very distinct curvature here that this does not have. This is much more gradual. I think it's almost certainly from not a mastodon, but a mammoth. And mastodons are more common here than mammoths.
And it would be unlikely that it's...
Well, it's a mark. Yeah.
But yeah, I have to look at it a little more closely, I suspect.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Marks. Cultural are hard to say, obviously,
Yeah.
without having some serious...
You get a lot of marks on stuff that's been...
Yep.
Yeah,
It's just they're so linear, you
yeah,
know,
they
that's
are.
the...
They are pretty linear. Geez, they are linear, aren't they?
They're really linear.
Where was that?
There's a bunch. I mean,
There's
it could
some
be...
marks on it that might...
Yeah, I mean, it could be root
Oh,
etchings, it
there's
could
a
be
lot
anything,
on
you
this
know,
end. It
but
looks like some kind of gnawing.
there's a bunch of gnawing on the other side, too.
You're right, George. These are really sharp there. Take a look at this, Tom.
You're looking at...
I don't know enough about butchery practices to...
Well, it
say one way
wouldn't
or
have
another,
any
but-
much to do with butchering. It'd be just de-meating it.
Yeah, defleshing and-
Defleshing.
These are interesting all through here.
Yeah, yeah.
Show me.
Oh, there's some marks running this way along the bone.
And you do get root etching and, you know, and there are
I
some...
see some parallel marks here. But And there's some parallel marks up on this end.
Yeah, I think this is natural here, Tom. This is part of the growth
Saw these
process.
here.
Yeah. No, I didn't see it. We were looking at these over here on this side.
Roll over. Yeah, there you go.
Really narrow. Happen.
You really got to get a high-powered microscope to look
So,
at it.
you know, the difference between your mammoth and your mastodon here and this big curve and, you know, having your deltoid tuberosity being really robust there.
That's so cool.
So those are all big muscle attachment
Yeah.
ridges, and that's where you might expect to see cut marks is from
on the far end,
you know,
Yeah.
cutting where the muscle attached to the animal. If it was, and the question is whether they're human or animal or a combination of is difficult to say, but it's certainly an intriguing specimen that, you know, someone who is a specific expert in looking at those types of marks, and also we'd want to use some higher resolution and also see if there's more bone that would have similar types of marks. Big bone, isn't it? That's an amazing find.
That's an amazing find.
Yeah,
Coolest thing I've
I think
seen in a
it's
long
the consensus is it's prehistoric.
We are close to a railroad track, and that could be an issue because when elephants die, they bury them where they die. And so I can't write that off. I don't really have any reference specimens.
It's up to the circus train.
I have no proof that it's impossible to be a circus elephant. It could be a circus elephant. I think it's probably a prehistoric mammoth bone, mammoth upper left humerus. But you know, I'd hate to cannot say 100%.
Well, I think we'd want to come out and look at it when it's drier to see what's appeared on the surface.
That won't be till fall because it'll fill up with water and then you won't see nothing in the summer. So you almost got to be here in the fall when it dries up.
I think the next step is determine ownership and then come out in warmer weather when there's less water in it to do a real extensive survey up and down all these banks and see if there's any more of it. Wouldn't you say, Jim?
I would say so, and you know, then the next step, if there were a next step, would be to maybe get a probe and see if you can find any other large bones in this area. If not, you know, this may be a specimen that washed in at one time and resurfaced. It's possible.